This episode was brought to you by 𝚆𝚘𝚕𝚘 Media and 90man.com.
Hello everyone, it's little Dan here with the latest Wolves Fancast episode. On today's show, I've got with me a special guest, as you can see to my right on your screen, Joao Lapa, former Wolves backroom staff under Nuno 𝚆𝚘𝚕𝚟𝚎𝚜. How are you going, Joao?
I'm good, and you?
Fantastic. As I said, it's great to have you on. Thanks for giving your time. One of the quick questions that a lot of people have asked me to ask you is, are your guitar skills still very good?
Well, now actually I've been practicing a little bit more because I have more time. So the guitar for me, it's still it's a time that I can do things without thinking in other stuff. So it's a time that I use to me to relax and to forget about everything, the rest of everything.
A nice hobby just to, as you said, distract yourself from the more serious things in life. You were recently working with Rui Pedro Silva at 𝚆𝚊𝚙𝚊𝚘. But let's go back to obviously your time at Wolves back in June 2017. You joined Wolverhampton Wanderers. What were your thoughts on Wolves before you joined? What did you know about Wolves? Do you remember the sort of first conversation you had with regards to joining the club?
I just, to be honest, I just heard about Wolverhampton because before I used to work with a player that used to play there called 𝚆𝚆𝚎𝚎𝚜. He was my player as well, so it was the first time that I heard about Wolves, to be honest. And then before I moved to Wolves, I remember that the first two players that I was more aware that they moved to Wolves was 𝙹𝚘𝚊𝚘 and 𝙹𝚊𝚙𝚘. And so when these two players moved to Wolverhampton, the club started to be more under my ear. So when some news show up about 𝚹𝚘𝚘 or about 𝚆𝚘𝚙𝚘, I was more aware of the club and start to follow a little bit more. So that was the first time that I had contact more with the club.
What were your sort of first conversations in regards to joining? What did Nuno sell the club to you, or was there a sort of intermediary?
No. To be honest, I had a friend of mine who was Antonio. He was already working with Nuno in the other clubs before. They started
Antonio
together.
Diaz, yeah.
Yeah. So Antonio is a friend of mine, and we know each other from some courses that we did in Barcelona, and one day Antonio called me saying, "João, we are going to Championship in England, and I would like to invite you to come with us. Are you interested?" And I always had the will to go to England and to try. I heard a lot about the Championship. It's a tough competition, and the possibility to go to the Premier League as well was a challenge that I accepted straight away. So it was a thing that I would like to do and to try in my career. And once the chance came up, I just said yes. Let's go. Let's make it.
Obviously, there's a quick picture here of you back in 2017 doing a bit of fitness assessment on Conor Ronan. What was your first thoughts on Molineux and Compton in regards to the resources and the facilities? Were you surprised? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, for me it was a great opportunity, and the club had already some good infrastructures. And I said we have very good conditions here to just to do a good work. And from the very beginning, we all of us start to feeling that if we do the things right, we could do something special at the club, and that's what we aim, and that's what we worked for.
What were your what were the original plans when you first came in regards to dealing with a 46-game season?
So the first goal, I think it was clear that the club wanted to go to Premier League. That's why they brought Nuno in, and to raise the level of the club and of the team. And yeah, we knew that it would be a very very tough competition, because you know that there are a lot of teams from the beginning they're fighting to get the promotion. So we knew that's going to be it would be hard. And but we trust in ourselves, and I think we all of us thought that we could make it, and if we could implement our ideas, and if the club was ready to support us and to allow us to do whatever we think we should be done, I think the things could be good at the end. And it was very good at the end, to be honest.
How easy were the players in regards to welcoming your ideas and plans, and the sort of new structure that came with not only fitness but the nutrition and the rehab?
I think the first two weeks, I think the players were trying to understand what type of work we're going to introduce and what type of things we're going to do there. But the sooner they start seeing how things starting to work well, and how they start feeling, and all of these things, they suddenly just. I used to say that they start drinking our information, and they just accept it, and make it worth it, and they make it our work easier as well, because if the player is starting to avoid or to not accepting very well the methodology, things become more difficult, and maybe the results are not so good as we wanted. So I think the players had a big part in our success, because I think they said, let's do this, let's try it and see what's gonna happen.
How key was sort of the likes of obviously Conor Coady was made captain by Nuno back in June 2017. How big was he in making sure the rest of the squad followed through with your instructions?
Yeah, he was a great captain. He, from the very beginning, he was always pushing for everybody to be on the right path, and I think he was one of the players that he knew it how to and to understand, and to see. I think this can help me, and this can help the team. So let's move on. Let's move forward with these guys. And I think he also managed to influence the rest of the squad and the rest of the players.
I can see a picture there of obviously you and the rest of the backroom staff. Obviously Rui, Antonio, Julio, Rui, and obviously Nuno there. I think Nuno sort of got the message across that obviously the one pack mentality. The backroom staff, it's not just those guys there, obviously the kitchen staff, all the people who help with the kits. It was a massive pulling together of everyone, which obviously reaped rewards in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was very, very, very important to involve everyone. I think from the beginning we knew that it's not just a manager, just not a technical team that can make huge influence on all the team. I think everybody needs to feel important, and if we push from everyone, and if everyone gives the best of each other to the team and to the project, I think everybody will win. So, and I think that's what one of the main things that we did there, and everybody was involved, and everybody was important for the team. So from the person that was at the door to receiving the players every morning until to the cleaning staff, to the kit mans, everybody was important to the team. So we took care of everyone, and everyone took care of us as well. So it was a win-win relationship with everyone.
Yes, that's right. If you're happy going into work, obviously you'd hope that it follows onto the pitch. And during that first season under Nuno, we really did sort of succeed on and off the pitch. At the end of that season, that championship winning season, the club won Medicine and Performance Team of the Year. Obviously, getting promotions, the main goal. But how proud was you to be involved in that Team of the Year?
Yeah, I think that was a word of such an effort that we did, and I think it worked. One of the things that it works really well was I'm not sure if I know if we can say this in English, is the word in English, but in Portuguese we say symbiosis. It's like the connection between the two teams, the technical staff and the medical staff was very good, and we tried to make it as much closer as we can. So if they have all the information, we would share everything as much as we could, and I think they teach us a lot as well, and I think we also help them a lot on their work. So it was really close, and I think the players benefit from that. The most information we have from the medical department, and the most information we could give to the medical department as well, because we have the feedbacks of the players on the exercises, on everything we do with them, and I think we could prevent a lot of stuff because we were always trying to be ahead of the problems. So, and I think that award was just an end product of that relationship as well.
It was clear that both departments were all pulling in the same direction, due to obviously the lack of injuries that were happening. I think there was an all-time injury low rate that was in the first season in the Premier League. How difficult was planning for the 38 Premier League season compared to the 46 in the Championship?
Well, I think we didn't change that much the methodology from the first season to the Premier League. The thing is, on the Championship, once you start the competition, you play and recover most of the time. So there's no huge time to dedicate to fitness. So I think the strategies we found to keep our players fit, we just transport them to the rest of the other seasons and try to manage that. So the first Premier League season, we didn't play so much games, but after the season after, we start playing again the European leagues, the European League games and everything. So we just tried to make small adaptations for what we used to do, and that was the big difference and the main difference.
How difficult was then, obviously you mentioned the Europa League, but obviously going to China, that one pre-season, and then having to allow for the Europa League that was starting straight away. Did you enjoy that challenge, or was it just day by day?
Yeah, well, we tried to plan it as much as we could, but in football we have to be prepared to this kind of challenge, and we know that the clubs are even more involved in this kind of camps and these kind of challenges to move abroad and to do some competitions and small competitions, because we played like a trophy in China, and we just have to. This is football, and this is going to be like this. I think it's not going to change, because there is a lot of things involved, and we just have to be prepared and ready to adapt when you have to adapt, and you can pre-plan as much as you can, but at the end we have to be ready to adapt to the changes that sometimes it happen.
Were you surprised at how quick Wolves went from, obviously the first day you turned up at Compton, to being in the Europa League? Was that obviously that was the end goal, but were you surprised just how quick it did actually happen?
Yeah, definitely. We never knew what going to happen when we moved to Premier League, but we knew that we have a very strong identity. We have a strong mentality and a strong behavior, competition behavior. I think we were animal competitors. This competitive uh, mind and attitude, and this is a big part of this job was Julio Figueroa. Julio is the man that always tried to put everybody on the same identity, on the same mentality for
Yeah.
competition, and he was very important on that. He took a huge part on our success and on our way of competing. Definitely.
Not getting too high when winning, not feeling too low when losing, trying to keep a level head.
Yeah, and on sometimes on bad moments, how to keep the everybody on the right path as well. In manage that was I think was a key factor on even on championship and after on Premier League as well.
How obviously we've all had big problems the last sort of couple of years. How difficult was the pandemic to endure from a football point of view, Joao, in regards to bringing the players back to a fitness level after the 3-month break?
Yeah, was a big challenge. We tried our best to keep the players as fit as they could, and we to restart again to prepare the place for the competition when we restarted again was a challenge, but we had a lot of meetings. We had a lot of we had very good relationship with the players, and we trust the players. The players trust us, and that's much easier when things go like that. So when there's confidence from both parts, I think everybody is they feel more ready to start again we were confident that the players did the work we asked them to do, and then things went easier when after that strange and untypical times.
I'm very biased when it comes to Wolves during the pandemic. Do you agree with myself that the lack of fans in especially at Molineux and in the Europa campaign went against Wolves in the end?
Definitely. We've been in all the stadiums in Premier League teams and even in Championship, and one thing that we feel in the players, I think even nowadays the players sometimes they refer this and on interviews and everything that the ambience at Molineux it's magic, it's special. So of course when you don't have these on your playing at home or playing away, even when you go away as well. I know we were small when we go playing away, but even on that times the team is feel the support, and it's always the fans are very important because we prepare the players to compete and to be ready to compete, but this extra boost that you sometimes you cannot explain, but you feel it, and when you can when you can push and receive this energy from the supporters, and you put this in your body, and after translate this to performance, it's magical, and it's I think we just did what we did because we had all the time the fans with us, and this was massive for us, no doubt.
It felt like a really special journey that Wolves fans were on with you and the team during that Europa League campaign. Not being able to support you in the game against Sevilla will always hurt quite a lot to a lot of the fan base, I think. One player I want to talk about in regards to the pandemic pre and post injury is Raul Jimenez. He was an absolute special striker for us. Was massively key to getting us to where we where we ended up in the Europa League. How difficult was it to reintegrate Raul back into the team after his head injury? If you can sort of just detract away from the head injury, having that amount of time out of the game will have a massive effect on a player of Raul's standard, regardless of the head injury. How difficult was it to reintegrate Raul?
Yeah, it was. Raul is as you know, and he's an amazing player. And but at the same point, he's a very positive man. And so it was a surprise for me to see how positive he was after his injury, and the willing he had was that we want to be okay and ready to play again. Was I think it played a very important role on his recovery. So and of course we tried to use all the weapons we had and all the tools we used to make him recover fast and but according to the timings that were established by the surgeons and everybody that worked with him that on the first phases of his rehab. And by the time he was getting closer to play and to be involving with the team, that's when I started to grab him and to introduce some of our techniques and our tools that I used to prepare them. Because the way I see the rehab, it's not just rehab the injury. I think, and I see a player as a human being. So it's the first of all, I try to all the times I try to recover the man that we have with us, and the faster that we could do this, I think the faster the recovery of the injury would be. So it was we used a lot of strategies with Raul, like watching he's playing when he was before his injury, while he's doing the recovery. We do a lot of neuroscience exercises to try to stimulate the maximum we could the brain and the relation with the rest of the body, and these kind of things to make him to increase the speed of his recovery and enhance step by step his performance levels, and to start him to feeling confident again, and to recover his abilities and his skills.
He has been a massive loss. Obviously, he hasn't reached the goal scoring tallies that he'd done previously for Wolves, but we're still glad that he's with us. He's still able to feature for Wolves. Hopefully, he can feature for Mexico at the World Cup. Fingers crossed.
This episode is brought to you by Pixel Yeti Media and 90man.com.
What did you make to Wolves' sort of decision to bring in sort of Fabio Silva around that time after losing Diogo Jota?
Pardon? Can you repeat again, sir?
What were your feelings on Wolves bringing in Fabio Silva at the time after losing Diogo Jota?
Well, that's the part where I don't normally I don't make much comments on that. But Fabio is a player with talent, and I think the club saw him an opportunity to have as an investment to the future. And I think it wasn't a direct replacement for Diogo Jota. It was just another player, an opportunity that showed up for the club. And I think that that was the case, an opportunity of investment to come to the club. And I don't see him as a replacement to Diogo, but it was another opportunity that the club saw at that time to the future.
How much of a massive loss was Diogo? How much did you enjoy watching him in a Wolves shirt?
Yeah, definitely. Diogo is, in football we have to be prepared to lose players in these kind of situations. When players are performing at a high level, it's normal that big clubs are always looking for this type of players to invest. And this is how football works. The teams need to make money, and they need to sell players. And Diogo was in a very good moment. He's a fantastic player. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. And was not a surprise for us to see that one day he was ready to move. It's as another players that you still have at Wolves. It's there are players always on the line to move because they are so talented. They had such a good quality that it's a question of time and the question of how they are performing at the moment, because football is the moment, and try to the players try to take the chance when they show up. So was not a surprise that Diogo could move, because the way he was performing and the way the player he is, it's massive.
Speaking of another player who can definitely play at a higher level, how much did you enjoy working with Ruben Neves?
Ruben is a very special player, a very special man. He's the type of I think he's a type of player every coach would like to work with. He's so dedicated, so talented, and when he's always there. He's a player that is always there as you need, and the guy that he likes to work. When he trusts people that he's working with you, there's no problem with him as well. He just do it, and I think that's why he can perform. He's been performing at the highest level for 5 years already. So, and he's a great player, no doubts.
Quickly moving away from Wolves a second, obviously Ruben and Diogo expected to be in the Portugal World Cup squad. How far do you think Portugal can go this November, December?
Well, I always trust in my country and in the players of my country. So I think we have a great squad. I think at the moment Diogo, I think he's injured. He's not able to play the World Cup, but we still have other players, and I think we are for the last few years. Portugal has been shown that we are a strong squad. Maybe sometimes the result doesn't show up, but I think we've been getting stronger and as a team, and I think the other teams starting to respect us a little bit more and look at us with different eyes at the moment. So I think with the right amount of confidence and with the will and the energy to make something special, we can go further away.
Yeah, hopefully England and Portugal will go far, and maybe a final between the two. How much would you have liked to have seen the likes of Gonçalo Guedes and Matheus Nunes at Wolves when you were there?
Yeah, they are great players. The level that they were playing in the last few years, it's been amazing. Matheus at Sporting was one of the most important players in the team. He played almost every game, and I think it's going to be in the near future. It's going to be a very important player at Wolves, no doubts about that. And Guedes, everybody knows him from Valencia, from other clubs, and how when he's fit and when he's with the right confidence, he can be very, very dangerous, and I'm sure he's going to bring things for Wolves, definitely.
Going back to sort of the latter end of your time at Wolves, what was the relationship like between the backroom staff and Jeff Shi? Was there a particular time when things became strained? Did you know when the time was coming to an end?
Well, the relationship was always good with with Jeff. No, we were never very involved with the president of the club. We were focused on our work. The maximum we were trying our best, the maximum we could every time. So, but this is what happened in football when results just doesn't match with the expectations of the border and the directors and everything. It's normal that sometimes things come to an end, and but me personally, and I think the rest of my colleagues, we are very involved with the borders, and we just focus on the pitch and on keep the players as fit as we can, and that was our goal and our focus. To be honest, we just don't. I think it was a question of results and expectations.
With you can obviously accept that if that's the case. Was there any sort of frustration in not being supported as much as you'd have liked to have been?
Maybe, as I told you, then it's not the thing that I was really aware of. I know that when the expectations sometimes are really tricky, because we did two seventh place at Wolves, and once you get there, you think you can go even higher. And maybe for Wolverhampton, if you finish middle of the table, was okay before. If you say before we finished the first season and the second season at Premier League, if you before the season started, if you could say Wolverhampton will be 11th or 12th in the table, maybe you sign straight away on the paper, But once you can do even better, we're always expecting. I think we can do even better. So when you do worse than that, people is not happy. So
Yeah,
it's how it is. It's how it is. It's how it works.
A victim of your own success.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the first season in the Premiership, if you'd finished 13th and then 7th, it would have been maybe different.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Let's try and talk a bit more positively. I've got quite a lot of pictures, obviously back in your time at Wolves, the first away win at West Ham, the championship winning scenes. You look my height there in the bottom right hand corner. Obviously, there's so many enjoyable times. Should you have been looking after Romain there?
Should definitely, but I didn't know he was in that condition. I don't know what happened, but I guess he was tired.
That was it. Rehab coach for the audio listeners out there. It's the Middlesbrough 2-1 away win at the end of the game. Romain Saïss is absolutely exhausted, lying on the ground, and Joao is celebrating wildly to the away contingents. From a sort of a non fitness point of view, what were your favourite memories at your time at Wolves?
There were a lot. Many. Yeah, there were so many.
So let me give you an example. Do you know, obviously, when Wolves sealed promotion, won the league, how did you and the backroom staff celebrate those nights?
Yeah, we were buzzing. It was we were really, really excited, so happy. When the game that was really, really, the game against Cardiff was one of the times that it was these last 5 minutes of the game were absolutely incredible. I can't forget these moments. And
movie writers couldn't have wrote that script.
No, impossible. It was magic. It was and personally, the last game we played for Wolves at home. It was the fans and everybody saying goodbye to us. It was
emotional.
Very, very special moment. I was like, that one thing that surprised me quite a lot was, in football normally the fans and the people just pay much more attention to the head coach, and I think in the other clubs, well, especially in Arabia, it was different as well. When I was working in Saudi, was a bit different. The fans were crazy about the stuff as well, but I felt that again at Wolves, and I'm not sure if it's like that in England with the other teams, but I felt a lot of support from the fans to the technical staff as well, and not only to the manager. So in the last day when I was on my way to the pitch for the last game at home, and people just recognized me, and was a lot of people outside, and people recognized me. I was one of the members of the technical staff, and people start shouting my name, and applauding, was like cheering, and was like really, really amazing. It was like I was like full of goosebumps, and was such an energy, and people, they recognize your work and everything, because these 4 years I gave everything of myself to this club and to success of the team and and to put the players at the best level we could. And I did all my best for the. I invest a lot of me on this on the club and on the players, and it was at the end having these I think recognition from the fans and from the Wolves was like was very really special.
Yourself, Nuno, and the rest of the backroom staff, the club as a whole at that time brought our city together. There was such an upbeat mood around the city for a city in England that is never really looked after. It's a really hard working class city. It was a real pleasure to have you at Wolves. You mentioned Cardiff a few moments ago. Obviously, the end was just an unreal spectacle. Everyone remembers sort of the how do I word it? The little battle between Nuno and Neil Warnock. But if you look at this video here, you nearly get a bit of a clip off Neil here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was completely out of him.
That was such
out of him. Yeah.
That was such a good night.
After that, everything is football, and we understand that people when someone wins, the other one is not happy at all. But it's the worm of the game and the heart of the game, and sometimes our reaction are not the best, so it's not good, but it's understandable.
Neil Warnock did make the argument that he didn't like the way that the Wolves backroom staff celebrated goals, but from a fan point of view, we loved it. Seeing you all come together, I mean, that's what we want to see. We don't just want to see just a quick fist pump and then you can focus on. We love that you all came together. Was that just the moments that you enjoyed seeing your work come to fruition?
Yeah, we did it we did that since the beginning. It was not only on the Cardiff game. We just had this celebration. I think everybody at that time I think that was so special. We were so involved and so I don't know that this was special at Wolves at that time. Everybody, we were like we were as a family. We were working as a family. We were the relationship with everybody, the relationship with the team, with the fans was so, I think, was rare, to be honest, and that was our lives there, and we were giving me and my colleagues, some of us were away from our families, and so we felt that our group should be as strongest as we could. So, and these make the difference, I guess.
It's great having you on. Thanks for giving your time today. Before I let you go, you have been getting a lot of direct messages into your Instagram page, other Wolves fans thanking you for your time, asking you if there's a possibility of a return. A lot of talk's been in social media and the news recently in regards to a return to Wolves with Nuno and the team. Is there any truth in that?
Well, I haven't been in contact with no one about that. So for me, it was just what I saw on newspapers, and I just want to say a word of. I was really happy with all the message I received. Was the Wolf fans and the club was really special for me. So I will never forget these times at Wolf. So, but it was just the only things I knew it and I know it is just what I saw it on news, and nothing more than that, to be honest.
It's obviously it's coming up to 3 p.m. in England at the moment. It's starting to go dark now. The cold nights are drawing in. A bit different to Portugal, but would you welcome a return one day?
I think in life we can never say never. So, to be honest, I don't miss that part of England, the weather, and I don't really miss that. But in Portugal, the weather is different. But and being close to my family, it's been really good as well, because I was for more than 8 years abroad, and it's hard to manage family and kids like that. So I try all the time to enjoy where I am, not thinking only on the future. But as I told you before, we can never say never. So let's see what the future reserves to us. And if at that time, if the opportunity comes up, I always be more than happy to help. I don't know in which way, but Wolves will be always a special club in my heart and in my life, definitely.
But it's a bit hard to ask this question. What parts of Wolverhampton did you like apart from the football side?
The countryside of Wolverhampton, where I used to live, was amazing. That the nature and the green everywhere was. And I made some friends as well. And my neighbors were very nice people that I still keep in touch with them. Sometimes we change some texts, and people were really friendly, and we were very welcome there. So my kids sometimes asking me, "Are we going to Wolverhampton again?" I said, "I don't know." I think they enjoyed to, because at some point we moved there to live with me just for 1 year, and then the pandemic, the COVID came, and they came back to Portugal. But of course, I have good memories from the other things from Wolverhampton, definitely.
I can speak on behalf of the fan base, Joao. You and the rest of the team are always welcome back to Wolverhampton. Thanks for your time today, and just take care of yourself. Hopefully, England and Portugal will do well in the World Cup. Hopefully, England will win it. But if there's another team that has to win it, I would love it to be Portugal.
Perfect. Nice
Thank
to hear that. Man, thank you very much.